All right. Welcome to the Quadcast Podcast, episode 6. Yes, that's right, people. We are on 6. Now, it's going to be a solo podcast today, so if you miss anybody else, I don't know. I guess go back and rewatch the other podcast episodes, because we have a bunch of people in there. Um, but I've taken the time to decide to do a solo today because I want to address an issue that I'm having right now. And it involves my favorite football team. Now, I'm from Michigan. You must be wondering if it's the Lions, right? No, they're my second favorite. I still root for them, don't worry. I still love the Lions. As bad as they are, as bad as the ownership is, I still root for my Lions. They finished 3-12-1, but we got the third pick in the draft, hoping for Chase Young. But the Redskins are probably going to get him. But anyways, it's not the thing here. My favorite team is the Ravens. I'm not a bandwagon. I've been a fan since '07. Must be wondering, Demetrius, you were 3 back in 2007. Yes, you are right. Or no. Nope, I was 4. Sorry, I was born in '03. I was born in '03. So yeah, I was 4. So the thing here is, um, I when we first moved into this house in my house in November of '07, my cousin gave me a GameCube and with a bunch of old games. I wish I still had the GameCube. I sold it a few years back. It was a great thing to have. It really did help me out a lot when I was bored. But nostalgia feels for all you original OG gamers. But what happened was he gave me Madden '08. Um, I forgot who was on the cover, but it was a running back from Tennessee. We'll talk about Tennessee later in this episode. Foreshadowing. Um, and so I would play, and I had no concept of football whatsoever. I had no idea what I was doing, but that was okay. It was okay because I would just pick up the controller. I would always have it to where the home team was Jacksonville, just because I had a thing for Jaguars at the time, and I was like, "Ooh, Jaguars, that's pretty cool." And I would either play as the Lions or the Raiders, the Buccaneers, or the Ravens. For some reason, I just really liked their logos. And since I didn't understand the concept of football, mind you, this was the Madden before the Lions went 0-16. Just thought I should throw that out there. The year before they went 0-16, this game came out. So yeah, if you have Madden '09, if you have Madden '09, do not, and I repeat, do not play as the Lions whatsoever. Their overall is absolutely terrible. I don't remember what it was, but I'm thinking it's like in the low 70s, I believe. But anyways, thing here is I would just like run back and backwards into the end zone, and I would just be like, "Yes, I scored a touchdown. It's a safety," and I would never score a point. But but as the years went on, I always had this thing for the color purple. My two RGB keyboards that I have are purple. My RGB mouse is purple. My other wireless mouse, it's blue, but it complements the purple because it's just a blue LED. It's not RGB. And most everything that I have, I try to make it as much purple as physically possible because I really like the color. It's really nice. Um, and it wasn't until about what is this? So 2019 season, 2018, 2017. It wasn't about the 2017 season um, until I like is when I really watched the Ravens because before that I always watched the Lions. I didn't start watching football and understanding the concept of football and what the rules were until probably about 2012. I want to say 4 years after 0-16. Um, and that's fine. That's fine. So and when I would play, I would just pick the Ravens because purple, right? And as I'm going through, um, I just remember what you call it. Like I remember watching the Ravens 2 years ago. They did pretty mediocre. I don't think they made the playoffs that year. And then next year, I made a promise. I was like, yo, I'm gonna watch the Ravens more. These guys are pretty neat. Joe Flacco, pretty interesting to watch. You got Marshall Yanda on the team. I mean, you got Matt Judon. Um, this was all before um, Lamar Jackson, Marquise Brown, um, Justice Hill. Any of these draft picks came out to be. This is like before that, when Joe Flacco and RG3 were the only QBs at the time. 2018 rolls around. They get Jalen Hurst, second round. First round, they get Lamar Jackson. We all know who that is. We all know how that turned out. My favorite player on the team is actually Mark Andrews, um, number 89, tight end. Love the guy. He's very entertaining to watch. This year in the regular season, he led tight ends for touchdowns. He had 10 and about 867 receiving yards, I believe. None on rushing, I believe. Now, if you're a football fan, you probably watched um, some of the postseason and whatnot. So, leading up to the postseason, Ravens go 4-0 in preseason. Don't go under 20 points at all during that. And I'm like, okay, pretty promising. That looks nice. They look fresh. They look fresh because the year before they went 10-6. Okay, pretty good record. Win the division. Barely jump over the Steelers. Steelers were good that year. Um, Barely jump over the Steelers. They beat the Chargers week 16. They beat the Browns week 17. They get it to the wild card. They get the fourth seed, I believe. They have home field advantage. Just for that game, they have home field advantage. And they go up against the Chargers. Now, mind you, they beat the Chargers in San Diego. This was still in San Diego, I think. Was this still in San Diego? No, it was 2 years ago. Yeah, this was in LA. So it was an away game. They beat them away. So you're thinking, yes, they're in Baltimore. They're in M&T Bank Stadium. They should win, right? No. They ended up losing 23-17. They lost by 6. And I'm like, I was bummed out. Didn't get to the divisional. It's fine. We always got next year. Lamar Jackson, it's only his rookie year. He only played half the season because Joe Flacco was injured. Come March, which is like the start of the NFL season technically, like not the playing season, but like the season starts in like late March, I guess, or something like that, because of the draft is in April. Now, let me tell you, they traded Joe Flacco. I remember I was in school, and man, I just dropped my headset. Ugh, sorry about that. I remember I was in school. I don't remember what class I was in, but I get the notification on my phone. I have like 15 sports apps on my phone. So I get a notification from the ESPN app, I believe, or the NFL app, and it says Joe Flacco traded for like like a 2020 fourth round pick and like a 2021 fifth round pick or something. And I'm like, oh my goodness, Joe Flacco, the guy who won the 2012 Super Bowl with the Ravens, when Ed Reed and Ray Lewis and Ray Rice, Ray Rice, when all of them were still around, Jacoby Jones, before Aloni Anada actually went to the Lions and then his career went downwards. Um, Man, and I was kind of sad, but I'm like, that's okay because Lamar Jackson is a dual threat QB. He's kind of like Josh Allen from the Bills. If you don't know who Josh Allen is, he's kind of like the great value version of Lamar Jackson, but he's still really good. In the regular season, he led the NFL in rushing TDs by a QB with 10, and then Lamar Jackson only got about 8. But Lamar Jackson broke Michael Vick's record from '05 on QB rushing yards. Michael Vick got just over like 1,010 or something, and then Lamar Jackson just totally obliterated it and got 12,009, or not 12,000, move 1,209 yards rushing. Insane. But at the same time, he's like, everyone's like, oh, he's a running back, and then the expression "not bad for a running back" came along, but and then like eh, and then he also like finished the regular season with only 6 interceptions, 36 passing touchdowns, which was the regular season title for this year. So basically, he had a 6-1 touchdown interception ratio, which is phenomenal. Um, and everything everything seemed good for this season. They go 4-0 preseason, don't go under 20 points. 2-0. They start off 2-0. They go to Miami week 1, right? Absolutely crush them. Crush them. Okay? They win 59-10. And it was a massacre. It was an absolute massacre for Miami. That right there was like the start of an 0-7 start for Miami. They finished 5-11, which actually is really good for a team that started off 0-7 and finishing 5-11 is not that bad. Honestly, I feel like Miami has somewhat of a future, but since they're in the same division with the Bills and the Patriots, I don't know. Like, I mean, they could think of something, and they're gonna do better than the Jets. Better than the Bills. No, the Bills are a really good defense. Patriots have a pretty good defense. So, but I'm getting sidetracked. Nobody cares about the Dolphins. Week 2, okay. Arizona. Arizona is coming off of a tie. Yes, I said that, a tie. And guess who the tie was against? It was a 27-27 tie against my hometown team, Lions, and that was the dumbest thing I've ever watched. Because the Lions had like a 27, no, they had like a 23-10 lead going into the like fourth quarter, and you'd think that they would like get a touchdown, they would trade touchdowns, and then they would just win. Yeah, no, 27-27 tie. It was brutal. Um, Arizona coming off of the tie, they got Kyler Murray. They got the first overall round pick in the last draft, in the 2019 draft. Got the first overall pick, Heisman Trophy winner, Kyler Murray. Oklahoma, he's from Oklahoma, Oklahoma University. Oklahoma University, in fact, is actually the first NCAA school in history to have two QBs get drafted first overall who won the Heisman. So it's pretty good status. Week 2, it's a pretty close game. Almost went into overtime, but defense kept up on both sides. Ravens won 23-17, and I got a little worried there for a second. Now come uh, their second away game. Week 3. They are in Kansas City. And last season when they went up against Kansas City, um, it, it didn't go well. They went into overtime and they lost. So I had high hopes for the Chiefs against the Chiefs this season. And I'm like, yeah, it's in Kansas City, Missouri. That's okay. No, nope. Yeah, Ravens lost 33-28. Close game. Close game. They tried. They put in a lot of effort into that game. I'll give them that. That loss didn't really faze me much because I was like, okay, we're still above 500. We like our first 3 games were not looking too bad. Um, Marquise Brown, he's a good rookie. He's looking good. Just is still getting some action out there. I like it. And plus, in the same draft, they get in their last pack of the draft in round 6, they get QB McSorley, third string, just backup for RG3, who's the backup for Lamar Jackson. And so I'm like, okay. Week 4, I have high hopes, and I'm like, it's the Browns. I'm a little worried because coming into the season, everybody was like, the Browns, oh my goodness, they're probably going to make the playoffs, win the division, go like 11-5, win the division. Everybody thought that the Ravens were going to go like 8-8, 9-7, not make the playoffs. Steelers go 10-6, make the first wild card, right? Bengals, of course, always in last because they just suck overall. They haven't been good since like 2012. Yeah, they haven't been good since like 2011 or something like that. So coming into this game, I was a little worried, but that was a-okay with me because I had high hopes. That was a massacre. At the end of the first, Browns up 7-0. I'm like, all right, we can come back. Browns up 10-0. Then it's 10-7. Still Browns lead. Then it just goes downhill from there. Browns win 40-25. 40-25. See, that was a but that sparked something. That really did spark something. They went from 2-0 to 2-2 just like that. But it sparked something. Because the week after, they go into Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh, divisional match. Everybody knows the rivalry. Okay, everyone knows the rivalry. Ravens have only been around for almost 24 years now, and yet they have just one of the biggest rivalries when it comes to either the Titans or the Steelers. This game goes into overtime. Ravens win. Justin Tucker hit a 46-yard game-winning field goal with as time expired in overtime, I believe. Um, yeah, with 10 seconds left. With 10 seconds left, he hit a 48-yard field goal, and then in overtime, after a fumble by Smith Schuster, I remember that. So what happened was Smith Schuster caught it, and I'm pretty sure it was Brandon Carr. He punched the ball out of his hands, and it fumbled. And I'm pretty sure Matt Judon recovered it. It was great. It was great coordination overall. And then from that fumble, Justin Tucker hits a game-winning 46-yard field goal. They win 26-23. Still not going under 20 points yet. Week 6, bam! It's back in M&T Bank Stadium in Baltimore, right? Cincinnati Bengals. Now, 23-17, Ravens win. Okay, it was way closer than it should have been. That was dumb. But Lamar Jackson became the first player in the Super Bowl era to throw for more than 200 yards and rush for more than 150 yards in a single game. So that was pretty nice. Now they go to Seattle. This is where I'm about to scream because I had it. I'm about to cry because we're not gonna win this game. You got Russell Wilson. They're not gonna win. They got Tyler Lockett, just magnetic. DK Metcalf, the kid's rising up. Well, that didn't go well for Seattle because the Ravens won 30-16, and that was absolutely domination. We shut them out in the third quarter. Held them to only 3 in the fourth. Their best quarter was the second quarter because they only got 13. So quarters for the Seahawks, they went 0-13, 0-3. They did not get any traction. Eagles, Patriots. Not Eagles and Patriots. That was Super Bowl 52. Get that out of here. Patriots, Ravens. In M&T Bank Stadium. This one scared me. This one really did. I thought this was going to where the win streak ended. But, nope. I mean, we're coming off of a bye. Week 8 was the bye. Coming off of a bye. We beat the Patriots by 17 points, 30-17. This game was at 8:20. It was Sunday Night Football, I believe. No. Yeah, it was Sunday Night Football. And I didn't make it through the whole game. I only watched the first half, and then I went to bed. No, I watched the first. I don't think I watched any of the game. I don't even think I was home. I think I came home and I just went straight to bed, and I wake up the next morning and I see the score and I'm ecstatic. Week 10, Baltimore. They go into Cincinnati again, and I'm like, are you just this team does not have a single win yet? At the time, the team didn't have a single win, and if they win, they'll be on a 5-game win streak for the first time since '06. Fun fact, the Browns actually went 10-6. In '06 and still did not make the playoffs. That's the funniest thing I've ever heard. Now week 1, he finishes with a perfect passer rating. This game, he finishes with a perfect passer rating, and the Ravens just absolutely Thanos snap wipe the Bengals from existence, 49-13. They pretended like they didn't even exist. Everybody's like, week 11, okay, this is where Baltimore's gonna lose because it's the Texans. You got Deshaun Watson, DeAndre Hopkins. Okay, you got J.J. Watt on the defense. You guys are screwed, right? No. 41-7, Ravens dominate. Week 12, Baltimore Ravens in Los Angeles. Monday Night Football. 45-6, Ravens win. Backhand. And then we keep going. 49ers at Ravens. 49ers only have 1 loss at this point. Ravens win 20-17 as a game-winning field goal by Justin Tucker as time expired, 49 yards. Okay, bam. They go in Buffalo. Now this one's scary because Buffalo had a great defense, right? Bam, they beat Buffalo 24-17. Great defensive game. Really fun game to watch. Then it's the Jets Monday Night Football again. No, Thursday Night Football. It was the last Thursday Night Football game of the season. Week 15, right? 42-21. They doubled their points and absolutely just it was a laughing stock. Then they go up against the Browns again. If they win, they clinch the division, right? 31-15. Baker Mayfield, done. Okay, OBJ, that trade, done. Jarvis Landry, done. David Njoku, done. Demetrius Harris, done. Everyone is done. Okay? The only good player on that team now, really, is Nick Chubb, the running back. Guy's amazing. I have him on my fantasy team every year. Week 17. We have the division clinched. We're 13-2. I don't care what happens. Okay? I don't care what happens. If we win this, we'll clinch home field advantage for the first time in franchise history, and it'll be the best record they've ever had. Okay? Because the 2012 Ravens, when they won the last Super Bowl, they only went 10-6, and in 2000, those Ravens went 12-4. So I don't think they've ever actually gone 13-3. Yeah. So actually, both times the Ravens won the Super Bowl, their winning score was 34. In 2012, they beat Colin Kaepernick 34-31, and then in 2000 they beat Eli Manning 34-7. So, anyways, so I don't care what happens. They put up their backups. So instead of marking him the second Heisman winner, got him from the Saints before the season started. Bench him, put in Gus Edwards. Gus Edwards a nice backup. Willie Snead, we put him in instead of we put him in. Got him from the Saints as well. We put him in with Marquise Brown, first round pick. Instead of Lamar Jackson, we put in RG3, the great RG3. Now RG3, he's not a starter quarterback material, but he's a great backup. He's a great QB still. He's still got it in him. He does a great game. He doesn't finish with rushing or passing TD. Finishes with over 200, just under 200 yards, but he carries the team to a good win. They win. They beat the Steelers, who needed this win, with the practice squad team. This is the funniest thing. And so they clinched the first round bye, of course, in the playoffs. And you need to understand, this is the best season they've ever had. Ravens beat the Patriots, the 76 Patriots, on all-time team rushing yards of just over 3,000. Ravens got 3,206, I believe. This is the best they've ever looked. I haven't seen them look this good since Ed Reed, Ray Lewis, Ogden, Michael Orr were all on the same team. I've not seen them look this good since. Okay. Titans. Okay. Remember I said before, the Titans were a rival of the Ravens. I meant that, but back in the old days. Okay. And basically, I'm going to check the Michigan State men's basketball score real quick. They're up against Purdue and Purdue. Basically, what happened was the Titans were a major dark horse. Major dark horse in the playoffs. Because coming in, they just edged out the Steelers, who finished the season 8-8. Who started off the season like 0-3. They started off the season like 1-4. So Mike Tomlin did a great job making them bounce back. They look like a playoff team for next year. Second wild card, maybe first wild card. But yeah. The sad thing is Titans, they came in second wild card. They go to Foxborough against Patriots. Patriots should win. They get they had the 3rd seed. This is only the second time in franchise history they've gotten the 3 seed, and they're 0-1. Now they're 0-2 because the Titans they won. They beat them by like 9 or something, 6 or 9 or something. And I'm like, all right, dark horse of the playoffs. keep in mind dark horse. Just keep in mind those two words. I This was last night. This game was last night, and I'm waiting, and I'm like, dang, bro. The first round bye kind of sucks because your team doesn't play for a week, but it's okay. High hopes. I'm in my living room. I'm watching the whole thing with my dad. My dad's a lifelong Lions fan. He doesn't care about the Ravens, but he's still watching it with me because he wants uh he's curious about the playoffs. He always is. Um and I'm I'm watching this game. It started off slow. 7-0 Titans lead after the first. And I'm like, okay, this is fine. Then it goes 14-0. Then eventually, it becomes 28-6. Early fourth quarter, 28-6. And at this point, I almost lost all hope. Because I remember me saying, yes, they're a dark horse. I thought it was going to be the Saints and the Ravens in the Super Bowl, but the Saints got upset by the Vikings in the wild card round. And then I was like, all right, well, it'll be a Super Bowl 47 rematch between the Ravens and the 49ers, right? No. Titans won the game, 28-12. I've never felt so disappointed, so excited, so euphoric, so dysphoric, and so melancholic all simultaneously in my entire life. It was retarded. Whatever happened there, whatever John Harbaugh was thinking, whatever happened there, it really it really didn't do anything for them. It really hurt to watch the whole season fade away faster than a rotting corpse 6 feet under. It was the worst thing. Never felt any disappointment like it before. Nope, correction. I felt it one other time in sports. I'm a Michigan State fan. I love doing March Madness every year. I do about 29 to 30 brackets every year in March Madness trying to win. So, for the first time since 2015, Spartans go to the Final Four as a 2 seed. 1 seed. 1 or 2 seed, I don't remember. They go up against 3 seed Texas Tech. Whoever wins goes to the national championship against Virginia, who just beat Auburn. And Auburn should have won that game. It was a late foul that kind of like messed up Auburn's game. As time expired, there was a foul on the buzzer beater. They got to go again. Buzzer beater. Virginia wins. I don't like it. I thought it was going to be Auburn and Michigan State. Texas Tech ends up upsetting Michigan State by 8 points. I remember I was at my sister's house, and I kid you not, I was crying. That game made me cry. I don't cry much, but when I do, it means that something really hit me hard. Harder than a freight truck freight train with like 14 tons of steel come hurtling towards me. It really did hurt. And I never thought I could feel that again. But now I understand my dad's feeling when he watched the 1992 NFC Championship game when the Lions came 1 win close. They came within 1 win of getting to their first Super Bowl in franchise history, but they got destroyed by the Redskins. The Redskins were a dominant team back in the 91-92 season. They went up against the Bills, who lost 4 straight Super Bowls. The only team to ever do that. First team to ever actually go to 4 straight Super Bowls, and let alone lose all 4. Now, if the Lions would have won, they would have beat the Bills, because the Bills were good, but they weren't good enough to beat the 92 Lions. The Lions were great. They absolutely dominated over Dallas in the wild card round, in the divisional. They get to the NFC Championship and then just lose. That's the first and last time they made it to the NFC Championship game. Since then, they have not won a single playoff game. They've never made it to divisional since. They made it to the wild card round, but like 4 times, and they're like 0-4. It's disappointing. But now I understand my dad's feeling to become that close to glory and then just get it snatched away from you. It's like going up to a kid in Africa, giving him a 12-ounce ribeye with Cajun seasoning on top, blackened Cajun seasoning on top, melted mozzarella with a nice root beer on the side. Telling him, hey, does this smell good? The kid's like, yeah, can I have it? And he's like, no, and he just gives it to the rich dude next to you. The Ravens statistically are the best team in the league. And for them to lose like that to the Titans, who were a 10-point underdog, Titans are going to the Super Bowl. But the 49ers are winning this year. They're going to beat the Chiefs. The Chiefs are going to win in overtime against the Houston Texans today. Titans are going to win. Seattle's going to beat the Packers today. Seattle's going to lose to the 49ers again. 49ers get to the Super Bowl against the Titans. Titans lose. And the 49ers win it all. But this whole thing really hurts. It really does. I don't know. It was the NFL's 100th season, Super Bowl 54, hosted in Miami. Ravens had a record, like 11 players get selected into the Pro Bowl. So I really thought it was the year. I was like, wow, my team won the 100th year of the NFL and the 54th Super Bowl. This was the best year. The absolute best year to win this Super Bowl. We had this in our fingertips. Now, when the 200th year comes along, and let's say they go 16-0, they win it all, they win the Super Bowl, I'll be happy. But I won't be as happy as if they were to win the 100th. I will not be alive to see the 1000th year of the NFL. I won't. But I hope that somewhere down my bloodline, my great-grandson or daughter, however many greats, they get to see it. They probably won't even know who I am. They probably will just totally forget about me, and I'll just be like a figment in history's timeline, and I'll just be long forgotten, and nobody will ever know that I actually existed. But I hope the Ravens win the 1000th NFL season. Now I hope they win the Super Bowl every season. That's what every fan wants, right? Don't just take it from me. Take it from literally any Patriots fan. Or any Steelers fan that's old enough to see when they had the dominant decade back in like the 60s or whatnot. But I don't know, winning the 200, 300, 400, etc., all the way up to 900. I don't think that would be as exciting as winning 100 or 1,000 or 10,000. This year was special. It was the first century. It was special. I'm not going to be alive to see the 200th. No, when I hope to live to the year 2100. And I hope to be 90. I'll be 97. 97 years from now, that'll be Super Bowl 151. Now, I really do hope that when I'm 96, because my birthday's in May, the same day as JFK, May 29th, I hope that I get to see the Ravens win Super Bowl 150. Right before I die, I want my final wish to be the Ravens to see the Lombardi Trophy in whoever the quarterback's hands are. I just want to see that for the 150th season. Now, anytime before that they win the Super Bowl, I'll be happy. I'm calling it they're winning the Super Bowl before 2022. Within the next 2 years, they're winning the Super Bowl. But if any time before that they win it, Yippee-ki-yay. I'm the happiest man in the world. But but when I'm 96, I better see a Super Bowl, or else I'll commit suicide a year before I die. I'll be the oldest person on record to commit suicide at 96. Um, yes, so 12 Pro Bowlers, 6 AP All Pro. Um, Offensive coordinator Greg Roman, great guy. Defensive coordinator Don Martindale. If you don't know who Don Martindale is, you are missing out. Eric DaCosta, GM, great man. Steve Biscotti. Steve Biscotti, um, he he took over for Ozzie Newman, or that was his name. That's who's the old owner's name? Gotta find this. I'm gonna Google this real quick. I got like 47 computers in my basement, so I can do this multitasking thing. The 2012 Ravens. All right, so basically, this is the first year um with the new GM. And let me tell you, he did some great things because right before the wild card round started, they picked up a linebacker who was waived by the Bengals. Great decision. You know why? Because we just traded away a linebacker a couple days before the trade deadline to the Rams to get Marcus Peter, cornerback, and Marcus Peter became the first uh, player in NFL history to have a pick six with two different teams in the same season. Because he did it with the Rams and then he did it with us against the Bengals. Um, and yeah, so they did that. Great draft picks, great not accusations, accusations. What do you think this is, Ray Rice? Great acquisitions. Um, no, 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 no. Steve Biscotti's still the owner. He's been the owner. General manager Ozzie Newman. Um, he was inducted into the Pro Hall of Fame. He was the old GM. He was the GM ever since '96 in their inaugural season, but he stepped down in 2018 after the 2018 season. Steve Biscotti has been the owner, I think, since '96 as well. Um, it hurt. It hurt. It hurt. It really did. Will I ever in my lifetime see another team as great as this? As dominant as this? As record breaking as this? If I do, it better be the Lions or the Ravens just doing it again for a sequel. Freaking YouTube notifications. It better be the Lions or the Ravens. If I see anybody from the AFC North or NFC North that is not the Ravens or the Lions do that, I will blow up something just because. Um, uh, well, for the 2020 draft, I mean, the Ravens got the 28th pick in the first round, 60th in the second, 92nd in the third, to be determined for 4 through 7. But they got a pick in the fourth round, two in the fifth, sixth, and seventh. The second, fifth one came from the Vikings. They traded from the Vikings. Oh yeah, because I remember because before the regular season started, Vevdik, this kicker named Vevdik was the backup kicker for Tucker, and he did great in the couple games of preseason. I think he played in preseason's game 2 and 3, in week 2 and 3. He did great, great kicker. We waived him, or no, we traded him to the Vikings for a 2020 draft pick. 2020 fifth round draft pick, and that's where it came from. And then the seventh round pick is a conditional pick from the Jets. I don't remember how that came Oh yeah, Vev Dickinson for that. Ravens traded a seventh round pick to Green Bay in exchange for Ty Montgomery. Oh, I totally forgot about that. Ravens traded Alex Lewis to the Jets for a conditional seventh round pick. Ravens traded offensive lineman Eluminor to New England for a yet to be disclosed 2020 selection. Oh, okay, so we're still gonna get. So we're gonna have in total 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 draft picks in this upcoming draft. So, welp. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. So so for home and away, you got the for 2020 you got for home you got the Cincinnati Bengals, Browns, you got the Steelers, Jaguars, Titans, Titans again. Oh, we better clap their cheek, bro. We better clap those cheeks. You got the Chiefs again, then the Cowboys, then the Giants. Away you got your division opponents, then the Texans, Colts, Patriots, Eagles, and the Redskins. So I'm excited for this next season. Um, Ravens to the Super Bowl 2020 or 2021. The year I graduate. The year I graduate is the year I want to see my Ravens get the Super Bowl. Okay, so this has been the Quadcast Podcast, Episode 6. Thank you for sticking around for my rant. I just feel really disappointed with the Ravens. John Harbaugh better do some. Better do some. Keep all your coordinators, except for special teams. Get rid of your special teams coordinator. I don't even know who it is, and I don't even care. Just get rid of him. I don't even like him. Whatever the heck that's going on is. I don't know. But yeah, Quadcast Podcast Episode 6. Thank you for sticking around if you did. Um, I promised there's going to be more episodes. I'm sorry for the drought. What happened was I don't know, we just kind of ran dry. It was like Africa out here. We just kind of ran dry. It was kind of a drought. Shout out to all the Australian people with their drought. Yeah. So I promise there's going to be more videos out. Kind of aiming to do 1 to 3 a week, between that range, 1 to 3. I'm going to have more people. Don't worry. These solo things never really happen. You're only going to see these probably once every 15 episodes. You'll be lucky to see one. Um, Once every leap year, probably. I mean, this is leap year, so I'll see you in 4 years for another solo podcast. Yeah, so thanks for sticking around. It means a lot. Uh, like, subscribe, do what you have to do, whatnot. Yeah, bro, Skittle. I'll see you dudes in the next one.